Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and I know I've been MIA, but I got a whole lot of explanations. So listen, happy MLK week. I didn't make a post or anything because I was actually celebrating it because, child, let me tell y'all what I did. I did two things that I haven't done in years. I went back to church and I got back on stage. Child, I was outside. It was a beautiful show. It was my first time back on stage in years. And it was like, oh my God. I was really excited about that, and then hell froze over. So not only did they swear the devil into office, it actually snowed here in South Carolina. So child, I just came straight off the calendar. Everything shut down. I don't know what's going on, but I'm back to reality because apparently this damn snow ain't going nowhere, but we got places to go and things to do. So let's get into it. First of all, before we do, let's just, I've been here in like a week, so let's just chat real quick. I just wanted to talk because did y'all have been to the TikTok funeral? They had the whole death funeral and the resurrection. She back now, but when I tell you I was stretched out, I might need a little therapy because I had to go through a whole grief process of acceptance and releasing her and what am I gonna do with my life and my time now, and this is how I'm gonna restructure and then the rose from the dead. I mean, the very next day. Just as you, Jesus, little sister. I learned some things from that TikTok ban, and I ain't on TikTok, but I'm going because the one thing it taught me is to diversify. The way people thought their whole world was coming down, and they was just coming out telling all their damn truth about all my content was a lie. Yeah, I ain't never drank none of that shit I made. I don't believe in none of that shit I was telling y'all. Yeah, I was only up here talking about them kind of, just because my man kept cheating with them kind of bitches. Like, excuse me, what? I said, oh no. That means we need to go ahead and diversify our content in a number of ways. Not only do we need to be on more than one platform, and we need to capture our audience independently, we is going to also need to diversify the type of content. And me getting back on the stage and doing my poetry, I have been telling y'all that I'm going to start to incorporate that more. Yeah, we gonna go ahead and fast track that. You know, I don't like to make no promises I can't keep, and sometimes I be overwhelmed and just be stretched out around here. Y'all don't even know nothing about it. I'm just, oh God. And I'm not trying to do that to myself, but I am trying to commit myself to prioritizing my work, my art. So at least once a week, we is gonna do us a poetry podcast kind of video. I think I'm ready. I thank God, you know, took me through enough to handle if there should be some backlash. I got the full armor of God, and I got a mouthful of curse words sometimes too. But we're gonna go ahead and do that in a number of the things, because the way that they put the entire world in a chokehold, shutting TikTok off in America, y'all done lost y'all motherfucking mind. And I would like to say, I just want to get this off my chest, since I'm on a streak of cursing motherfuckers out this week anyway. I got a good few in my spirit for the people who were so openly joyful about watching content creators have to go back to a real life and get a real job. And it gives, I couldn't do it and I'm mad you could. The number of people who were comfortable getting on the internet talking cash about how happy they were to see the downfall of thousands, I mean tens of thousands of people. When I tell you I hope the motherfuckers was good and shame the next day when that came back up, I don't give a fuck who owned it. That's a whole nother conversation. I don't care what kind of back alley deals they doing about it, who done passed hands, who done cut a check for the bitch, they done bought it under the table. I don't give a fuck. All I know is you motherfuckers who had the sheer audacity to get your funky ass up on the internet talking cash and like, yeah, they're gonna have to get a real job. They're gonna be asking, do you want fries with that? I hope you had to crawl into shame and oblivion when that motherfucker popped up the next day. And speaking of the motherfucker popped up the next day, apparently it popped up with some new features. I am now also a full-time student at the illustrious TikTok University that was founded by the Dr. Barlow. I'm enrolled in a number of classes, so we're gonna have to go ahead and get through this review because they might have done started the spring semester, and I'm gonna get these courses and this education by any damn means necessary. And there ain't no telling how many rights and freedoms we gonna have and how much longer we gonna have them. So I'm gonna get this education while they giving it. I suggest that you go sign up for classes too. You don't have to do no FAFSA, nothing. It's free. And speaking of free, let's get into the tea. Child, before we get into the reviews that I owe y'all, because I know I owe y'all a couple, please. Just give me a minute. I told y'all I had a week. It's snow outside, please. But child, Do y'all know they gagged a bitch like me when I was scrolling up and down the internet and I saw what looked like an official statement from the Grand Dame herself, from Karen Huger, about that I quit. Y'all can have this job. It's been real nice. I ain't coming back. Child, I was in here, I mean, sipping hot tea to find out that shit was old and stank. That was not even from Karen. It was from some Bravo Housewives of Potomac parody page. Could y'all please go find y'all something to do? Karen said y'all gonna have to fire me. I don't blame her. You gonna give me my motherfucking unemployment. I want all my benefits down. Now, do I think Karen needs to fire her Grand Dame persona? To some degree, yes, because that bitch done got you embarrassed. That bitch has dragged you straight to hell and the courthouse. And speaking of getting fired, unemployment, and cutting the check, Phaedra is down here checking bitches with cancel checks. Yeah, Heavenly is down to the internet talking like she do, telling everybody that, yeah, Phaedra done come down to this TV show about we gonna raise $100,000 and I'll make up whatever the difference is because I'm money bags. I got it like that. She said Phaedra's a damn lie. We did not make our goal and Phaedra ain't cut no check. Phaedra said, oh, but you can cut the shit because not only do I have a cancel check to prove you's a damn lie, I'm gonna sit here and wait to see if that check that your mouth just wrote is gonna clear, bitch. You know what? I think that's exactly where we gonna start. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do Real Housewives of Potomac or if I wanted to review Married to Medicine first. But them Potomac bitches, I'm about tired of them and all they raggedy bullshit. So yeah, let's start with Married to Medicine and I'll get to them heifers later. So I owe y'all 2 episodes of Married to Medicine. Starting off with last week's episode, episode 7, you see all of the ladies headed out to a gathering that Heavenly is having. Heavenly is having like a lakeside cookout celebrating her son going off to dental school. So the ladies are headed there together in separate vehicles. First, we see Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie, and Dr. Simone's husband, Cecil. Now, the first question I had is, where the hell is Curtis? Why the hell is Curtis never any damn where to be found? Now, they didn't answer my question later on in the episode. He ended up showing up later on at this Met Gala. But I want to know why the hell he ain't nowhere to be found all season long, and everybody is just playing along like nobody's going to say anything about Jackie's husband turning into Casper the Friendly Ghost. On the way to this lakeside cookout or wherever they going, I don't know where the hell they going. But they're headed to this place, and in the car, Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie are talking about this Met Gala planning. And Dr. Jackie said that Phaedra has been failing to communicate and hard to do business with. Now, in the next vehicle, we have Phaedra, Quad, and Quad's man, Kang, all riding together. And Phaedra brings up the Met Gala and what's going on with the planet. And Quad told her, well, girl, if you know, like I know, you better cross your T's, dot your I's, and keep your receipts. Because Dr. Jackie is telling the ladies that she is nervous about your participation. Well, in the confessional, Phaedra said she don't give a damn what Dr. Jackie is nervous about. She said, because we all know that the only reason Dr. Jackie is suddenly the chairman of this whole charity Met Gala is to clean up her image because of the ignorant and dangerous comments that she made that got her dragged all up and down the internet last year. Phaedra said, I don't mind helping you clean it up, but don't throw me under the bus in the process. I said, you better tell them you from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah, we dragged you by your real drama over there. Don't play with me, girl. Now, in the other vehicle, Dr. Jackie is telling Dr. Simone that she was complaining to Dr. Heavenly about Phaedra's lack of involvement. She said Dr. Heavenly jumped right in and stuff started getting done immediately. Now, my thing is, if stuff didn't start getting done until Dr. Heavenly got roped in, wouldn't that mean that Dr. Jackie is a part of the problem too? Like, did you want help with planning the project, or did you want to outsource the project planning altogether? So fast forward, we see everybody arrive at the cookout. We see everybody going in the house, and Quad got her man with her, and Dr. Jackie said, ooh, for Quad to be letting us see her man, it must be serious. Well, for you to be hiding Curtis, it must be serious. Like, could you sweep around your own damn door? So they get to making plates. Everybody is sitting down to eat. The ladies and the guys separate to go eat their food and catch up. So the guys are getting to know Quad's man. They're giving him the ground rules, telling him don't get caught up in this bush. Now Quad gonna have you fighting a few days, and then they're gonna be made up and you ain't gonna know what to do with yourself. Meanwhile, over at the ladies' table, all Toya wants to know from Quad is, what'd you do to get a Rolls Royce? No ring, no baby. Girl, what? Quad said, well, that's just how the man feels about me. And the other ladies are in the confessional saying Quad must have gave some super head to get that. No, first of all, there's levels to this. Now, maybe your stock value wasn't as high, so you had to sell a little more to get a little less. Everybody don't have to do that. Well, you know, Toya ain't got no comeback for that, so she went to her usual complaining. She starts complaining about how Phaedra is fired from planning any of the girl trips, And they were like, well, you didn't enjoy the trip. She said, well, the location was nice, but they failed to bring the ladies back together. So the trip was a failure altogether. Now that's just dumb. Because if the trip didn't create the issues, if Phaedra didn't create the issues, how is she going to resolve the issues? If the issues exist between people who have no interest or desire to resolve those issues, then how the is the person that's on Expedia.com gonna fix the damn issues? Well, since Toya got so much criticism of Phaedra's failure, she decided to take over the job herself. She told Heavenly, I want you to apologize for those your mama comments. Well, Heavenly, like she does, tries to change the subject. She said, well, I'm going to do the best I can, but I don't want to make promises that I can't keep like Phaedra does. Now, I have to give Toya her credit because Toya did try to keep Heavenly on subject. She said, we're not talking about Phaedra. We're talking about you. But Heavenly headstrong S made sure she was going to make Phaedra the villain. Y'all going to get the fuck off me. And Simone was all too happy to back her up. Heavenly said, my friend came to me frantic about you weren't helping her plan this event. And Dr. Simone jumps in to say that Heavenly is now the co-chairman of this whole project or whatever the hell they got going on. Phaedra said, for all I give a damn, she can kiss my ass and have the whole job. I ain't got to be here. Heavenly said, no, I don't want your job because you promised $100 grand and I don't know if I can promise that. I don't want to make no promises I can't keep. Phaedra said, we'll get the money even if I have to personally give it because I'm not going to let a bunch of bitches like y'all be able to run around and say I didn't do what I said I was going to do. It's all right, big bank, take little bank. So now they're all up in arms and they in the confessional talking shit. Dr. Jackie said, what kind of bitches are we? Bitches that go to work every day, bitches that finish med school. Dr. Simone said, what kind of bitches? Doctors, professionals, just on your same income level. Oh, okay, all right. Well, now you done said exactly what we needed to be saying. So if y'all is on the same income level, how would you put your money where your mouth is? Why is 6 figures so difficult to raise for a charitable purpose for people on this high income level who are also collecting their high income level from high paying patients every damn day? Like, where the money at? I think if the original goal, I think was like $15,000, maybe 25. I don't even think it was $25,000, but the $15,000, I think, is not only low, but performative for a bunch of medical professionals and TV stars. And I get Phaedra saying, look, just make it an even 6 figures and stop playing. My thing is everybody ballers when they taking in all them high price healthcare dollars. But when it's time to sow back into the community, ain't nobody got it. Now, y'all got it when you in the designer store. You got it when you on the car lot. You got it when you talking to the man to do the renovations on your house. But when it comes time to give back into the very community that has enriched you, I don't know nobody. I got to talk to my account. There's 8 doctors on this show. And you mean to tell me between 8 doctors and their entire networks, you can't come up with 50 people who can give $2,000 a piece, 100 people who can give $1,000 a piece and make it $100,000 goal. Like, I mean, if you're going to make it a charity, if you're going to make it a charitable effort, put some real effort behind it, other than making sure that people know that you're the name and the face of it. So Quad suggests that the group come up with a set amount that each of them is going to donate to start everything off. Quad suggested $3,000 per person. Phaedra said, let's just make it $2,500. They all agreed on $2,500. And Dr. Jackie says, well, now we need to call Tisha, Sweet Tea, and Contessa for their contribution. She's looking around the table, delegating that task to somebody. Toya said, first of all, you need to call. Dr. Jackie said, well, I can do that. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, because do something other than tell people what they need to do. Toya said, secondly, you can't just be calling asking for money from people that you've made feel excluded and unsupported from this group while you are simultaneously buddied up with their arch nemesis. You can't do shit like that. Toya is trying to explain to Jackie where Contessa and Sweet Tea are coming from. And she said Contessa especially does not feel like we hold Heavenly accountable. Dr. Jackie don't give a damn. She over there laughing and brushing it off about, well, maybe she can show her support with her money. And that's exactly who Dr. Jackie is, an elitist, money-loving, mean girl. Well, Phaedra said, hell with it. I hereby resign from this Med Gala. They said, no. Let's just go downstairs. Let's get our men. Let's have a good time. And Dr. Jackie speaks up to announce that her man is in Florida. I said, doing what and who? Toya said, well, your man is always gone. He's like Phaedra. Dr. Jackie said, well, that's because he has to make a living just like yours does. I'm about that bullshit. I believe that they are barely together. That man don't like Jackie. And I don't think Jackie like him too tough. I just think that she is committed to the idea of being married, even more so than they are committed to each other, because I believe that Curtis does his own thing. I believe Curtis was very intentional in getting caught cheating, and I think they first or second season, because how the hell you wait till y'all get on TV to go skipping through the damn airport, holding your side bitch's hand when your wife is one of the most famous black OBGYNs in the country? Like, sir, the way he looks at her when they're in confessionals and when they're in scenes, it's almost like they cannot stand each other, but they just have to be married. Like, that's a part of their brand. So they wrap it all up. They take pictures. They all go home. We move on. We see Phaedra at home, and she has Sweet Tea over. They're having lunch. Phaedra's catching Sweet Tea up on the going away party. She's saying, yeah, you nor Contessa were there. She said, I'm sure, because Heavenly hosted it. You know, don't neither one of us with her. Phaedra said, well, y'all's beef aside, my problem is with Dr. Jackie, because Dr. Jackie is apparently dragging my name to the group, telling the group that I'm not supporting her and helping her with planning this Met Gala. Phaedra said, what I don't get is she got time to gossip with the group, but not time to send me a personal text. Now, in Dr. Jackie's defense, didn't in a previous episode, Dr. Jackie asked Phaedra, are you getting my text messages? Because I've been texting you and I'm not getting a response. And Phaedra said something like, I got 73 unread messages. Didn't the lady said she was trying to text you and you just was too busy to answer? Phaedra don't give a damn about none of that. She said it is ultimately Jackie's vision and it's up to Jackie to communicate what she wants. She said, well, yeah, you know what? Speaking of Dr. Jackie, I find it funny that she can hold you accountable, but not Dr. Heavenly. I said, now one thing you're going to do is find a way to bring it back around to you. Phaedra said, I don't know if their issue with Heavenly is that they're afraid of Heavenly, or if the issue is that they are kindred spirits to Heavenly, because you cannot be that close to the devil and not have devilish ways. They say tell the truth and shame the damn devil. Well, I guess she did that. Phaedra said, well, Heavenly is willing to sit down with Contessa, but Sweet Tea ain't trying to hear none of that. She said, I don't understand why she's so willing to sit down with Contessa, but ain't thinking about giving me an apology. Sweet Tea said she wants Heavenly to apologize and mean it and come with a peace offering, because we learned that in kindergarten. We also learned in kindergarten to stop asking for shit that you ain't gonna get. One thing you can do is go want in hell, because you're not getting that from Heavenly. Sometimes you just have to make a choice about how you're gonna deal with a person, how you're gonna be in relationship with that person, how you're gonna coexist with that person, because you cannot make that person bend to your will. Even if you apologize, I can't make you mean it. I can't make you be sincere. I can't make you be a better person, because you being fucked up to me is not always about me. Sometimes that's just a projection of the fucked upness you got inside. You are fucked up with everybody. I just happen to be the target today. So to drive yourself nuts with the whole, I want her to mean it, and why is she apologizing to her and not me? Don't give a damn. Apologize to your damn self for being that needy of this person's validation by them saying, you know what, I was wrong. You know they was wrong. You know how she handled you wasn't right. So you handle her accordingly. Don't allow her to be in your vicinity. So we move on. We get to the Met Gala space. We see Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly go to see the space before the actual event. And Dr. Heavenly comes in being messy. She comes in asking Dr. Jackie and the party planner about what exactly did Phaedra contribute? How much did she do? Dr. Jackie said, well, Phaedra contributed all the auction items. And Dr. Jackie is in the confessional saying Phaedra did absolutely nothing. And she raised absolutely no money. All right, well, we're going to see about that. So we see everybody getting ready for the Met Gala. We see Contessa at home trying on costumes and shit. Her whole family in there talking to her, trying to tell her to take that cheap shit off. So we cut over to Quad's house and we see her home getting ready with her man. And she asked her man if he plans on speaking to her ex-husband at the Met Gala. That man said, no, I'm not really concerned with speaking to him. I mean, that's the past. Are you living in the past? Quad said, no, I'm not living in the past. I'm driving my Rolls Royce to the future, bitch. Yeah, shut the hell up asking that man about if he gonna talk to the old man. Just shut the hell up. So we move on. We get to the actual gala. We see Dr. Jackie. She's announcing the cause. I believe it's Akira for Kids. I could be wrong. That could not be the name of it, but it got something to do with Akira. And it's founded or headed by Judge Hatchett's son, because he lost his wife during childbirth. I remember that. It was absolutely awful. I pray for that family. But they, I believe, established this foundation, which is supposed to help reduce Black maternal mortality rates, because we know that this is something that happens all too often. And while this is an absolutely amazing cause, and I don't want to taint that in any way, this is also very clearly a PR campaign to clean up Dr. Jackie's image, because she made comments that are directly connected to the problem. So while this is a good cause, it's also a very clear PR campaign. So we see everybody arriving. We see Damon get there. We see Dr. Simone get there. Why she look like a snow bride out of a Tim Burton's movie? Just what the fuck you got on? Toya get there. Toya dressed like she came straight from the TikTok feud. Bitch, what is you wearing? Toya got on a church lady hat, a club dress, and a blazer. Like, where is you going? Quad came through in a jumpsuit. I absolutely loved it. Sweet Tea came through in a whole ensemble. I don't know what it was, but I loved it. I did also like Phaedra's look, but something about Phaedra's look gave cosplaying Dolly Parton at the Easter ball. Now, Heavenly is a messy motherfucker, but that motherfucker looked good. Heavenly looked amazing. Heavenly done got every damn penny's worth of whatever work she got done. That looked good. This is also where we get to meet new characters. We meet Dr. Mimi, who is a psychiatrist, just like Dr. Gregory, and her husband, Steve, who is a former NFL player, and he gonna make his presence known. So then we see Contessa arrive. She looks absolutely beautiful, and she has her daughter as a +1, who is, when I tell you, I'd be shocked to see all these, they used to be little kids and they're like grown people. Her daughter looks like a grown person, just in a you only know because she's shorter than her mama. She's gorgeous. But she was Contessa's +1. And we found out why, because Contessa goes to hug Curtis, who happened to show up out of no damn where, but he showed up with all the damn nerve. Because this motherfucker had the nerve to ask Contessa, where's your husband? Bitch, where you been? Contessa said her husband decided to stay home because he knew if he came to this party, he might end up flipping some tables and it wasn't going to be the Jesus in him. Phaedra said, yeah, she might be cosplaying Dolly Parton, but she cosplayed her down to the bank too. She said, I hope these ladies brought their knife and fork because tonight they will be eating their words. To think that I can't write a $100,000 check, it's just silly. I said, you better talk that shit. Now, Heavenly is in the confessional thinking her ass is Joan Rivers, talking about everybody. But you know, the event came together and everybody looked so beautiful. But Simone over there looking like the Blair Witch Project girl. She said Contessa just trying to be noticed. All Contessa got on is a sparkly green dress, thank God. She ain't put on none of them damn headpieces she was trying on at the house. And Sweet Tea, Lord, she took a Sweet Tea looked like she wearing one of the clearance prom dresses that she used to sell at her beauty supply, so you know you need your ass whooped. I don't know. Maybe it's me and my over-the-topness that lives inside me. I like Sweet Tea's look. So then we cut over to the guys and we see Doctors Damon and Gregory mending fences. They're shaking hands and making up. And it could be me. It could be my blackness. But everything about this moment reminded me of that scene in Boomerang where Eddie Murphy, David Allen Greer, and Martin Lawrence were making up after Eddie Murphy and David fell out by Halle Berry and they had that hug on the rooftop and Martin was burning up all the shit in the kitchen. It reminded me so much of that scene, it was not even funny. But the guys cleared the air, they made up, they're moving forward, they all happy again like men do. They move on to start the auction, and when I tell you this was some ratchet bullshit. So to get the auction started, they start with Dr. Jackie. She's introducing herself and Phaedra. Dr. Heavenly storms the damn stage like she David Ruffin and these the Temptations about I'm actually the chairman, just loud and tacky. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth because I just need to get this off my chest. Dr. Jackie's speech about the cause pissed me off because she's talking about the fact that amongst Black women, the maternal mortality rate is 2 to 5 times higher than in any other demographic. And for me, the reason that pisses me off is because we already have to deal with whatever disparities and discriminatory practices are in play against us. But to also have a Black woman who is on the inside saying the kind of ignorant, problematic shit that she said, a Black woman who is co-signing the problematic beliefs of an entire industry when you are part of the problem that is feeding Black women to that damn monster. Don't sit up here and tell me about how this is a charitable cause that's so close to your heart. I'm sorry. I know we got to forgive and move on, but it just pissed me off. But let's just get into the auction. So the first item that they're auctioning off is a trip to Morocco, but no airfares included. Why are they supposed to get there? Do you know how much they want for this trip to Morocco that you ain't got no ride to? $4,000. How about hell no? Now they got Dwight up there trying to sell this shit. He looked just as confused. Like, why y'all got me selling these people this $12 piece of paper for $4,000? If you don't get, anybody got $2,500? They finally were able to get $3,500 for it. The next item was an O-shot. They got $1,200 for that. They auctioned off a Botox package for $1,200. I said, this is some medical community bullshit. This is what y'all into. They auctioned off a filler package for $750, and then they got around to Quad's cooking class that she thinks is valued at $3,000. If you don't value your ass about our face. Now, while Quad is on one with this bullshit, I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was Gregory, because you know his voice kind of high pitched, or if it was Sweet Tea. I don't know which one of them said it, but one of them said, like, she can cook. All I know is the lyric you should hear every time that bitch pop in your head is, why you so obsessed with me? Because what the fuck, like, why are you over there worried about whether she can cook? Let her overprice her bullshit. Mind your business. Fix your sandwich. And then they asked them in the confessional, I mean, since y'all talking at the party, they asked Dr. Gregory, does he think Quad's cooking is worth $3,000? And he said, well, I think my wife's cooking is worth $3,000. Even Sweet Tea looked at him and said, stop lying. Like, don't sit up here and lie. And that should tell you that every time he's sitting up there talking all this shit about Quad, and he got so much saying, yeah, like she can cook, and yeah, she had an attitude problem, this, that lets you know he will lie. He will lie with a straight face. He don't mean that shit. Well, they eventually got $1,150 for Quad's cooking class. Please go sit down. Next up is Phaedra. They are auctioning off a date with Phaedra for $4,000. When I tell you all you heard was crickets. Heavenly is in the confessional talking about, I think everybody in the room that wanted Phaedra already had her. So just Heavenly said, I don't think people pay for stuff they already had. This helper said, Phaedra, just go and put it back up. It ain't selling like it used to. We over 50 now, bitch. Phaedra said, y'all won't be embarrassing her all over TV. They found some man in the room that said he went on a date with Phaedra 28 years ago. Why he know the exact number of years is beyond me. But he said he went on a date with her 28 years ago. And yes, he will cough up to $4,000 to go on a date with her again. He said, now, if he cough up this $4,000, she better put out since he done paid up. Sir, you're not supposed to say that part out loud. Well, apparently the bitch must not have put out, because this man, according to Dr. Jackie, done come back around demanding his money back. She said, yeah, the man donated the $4,000 for the date. But that man said he didn't get what he paid for and he want his damn money back. Now, what they said somewhere on the internet, I don't know where, I was somewhere in somebody else's business and somehow I came across this. Somebody said that it was a scheme that Phaedra set up to come at us with the bullshit. They said what had happened was nobody was bidding on her and she wasn't going down like that. So she went and got this man and whispered in his ear and said, hey, come here, just tell these people you gonna pay them this $4,000 to go on this date. You cut the check. I'll reimburse you on the back end, this TV business, all right? And the man said, all right, well, I'll go along with it. But he never got his $4,000 back. And I don't know if Phaedra was ignoring his text messages like she was ignoring Dr. Jackie, but he went to the source itself. He went to Dr. Jackie and said, run me my money. Toya said she noticed some bullshit. She said because Phaedra wouldn't pay $4,000 to hang out with Phaedra. Well, damn. So the next item that they're auctioning is a custom blown glass bowl that Quad made. So they decided to auction this piece of glass off for $650. Well, Dr. Mimi's husband, Steve, said he could see through that glass. He see something he liked through that glass. Well, they were struggling to get $650 for it. He came out of nowhere and said, I got $5,000. I said, hold on, excuse me, what? Now, Dr. Mimi is standing there laughing, and you can tell she's trying to laugh it off and just kind of be in the moment, but she looks so uncomfortable to me. So they've auctioned off all their items. They go in the back to count up the money, and they're saying how they're nervous that they haven't hit their goal. Dr. Heavenly is in the confessional saying she's never had a goal that she has not met, and she's nervous about not meeting this. She said we could have done $25,000 in our sleep. She said, Phaedra, you got some work to do and some checks to cut. Now, here's my thing. Y'all could have done $25,000 in your sleep. So if you could have done $25,000 in your sleep, then you could have woke up and done $100. Y'all could have put together a collective effort and easily gotten $100,000 in donations. They did a total count, and Dr. Jackie told them that she had somewhere around between $53,000 and $54,000. So Phaedra did the math, and she said, all right, you need about $47,000. Don't worry about it. I got it. Dr. Jackie is in the confessional throwing shade when she need to be throwing cash at the cause about, oh, I'm so happy that $47,000 is nothing to Phaedra. I'm so happy that she can just write the check. Well, ain't you always dripped and draped in designer? Didn't you build a custom house? Don't you drive in luxury? Aren't you always talking about how hard you work and how much money you make? Why is that the only time that being able to cut the check is a flex? Why ain't you flexing the money now? Why isn't it a flex to be able to cut a check, a 5 or 6 figure check, to the very community that has enriched you? Like, miss me with the bullshit. So the episode comes to an end with them writing up the check. They present it to the recipient, and Dr. Jackie said, while this was beautiful, she will not be the chairman next year. Of course, because this was a damn cleanup mission. Phaedra said, and for those worried about the check clearing, she said, as I told them when we were out at the lake, I got $100,000. My check will clear. She said, now maybe we're just not all in the same tax bracket. That's why I love it. I love, when I tell you I love Phaedra crazy as Parks on my TV, because she talked the kind of shit I like. So that brings us to this week's episode. And this week's episode starts out with Toya and Eugene at home. Eugene is talking to their son about his schoolwork and his homework. And Toya is letting Eugene know that since the Met Gala is over now, she's bored and she needs something else to look forward to. So she wants to plan an event for the ladies. She wants to plan a baby shower. Eugene just is damn confused. He said, for who? She said, for Stormy. He said, who's Stormy? Their son said her new Hermes purse. She said, yes, it is, but how do you know that? He said, because you made it your whole personality. Now, if out of the mouths of babes were a person, it would be Toya and Eugene's son. God bless you. Eugene is in the confessional saying only my wife would want to have a party to celebrate getting a Birkin. Toya said, I don't care what y'all think. I got my first Birkin and I want to have a party to celebrate it. It gives the same energy as that girl that went viral on the TikTok who was melting all over Hermes' floor because the people brought her a bag out to offer her the option to purchase when the sales associate got to threaten to take the bag back. But you need to be embarrassed. And this gives that. So Toya is saying that she wants to have this event and she's telling her son, you can cook. He said, how much you got per hour? She said, I'm not paying you. Eugene said, yes, you are. Yes, you are. If you can have a whole party to celebrate that you paid them people an exorbitant amount of money for a purse, you can pay him for his talents and services. Eugene said, how much does a Birkin bag cost? The baby said like $32,000. Eugene looked at his son and said, she got Birkin money. Yeah, make her pay you. People will tell you how much your gift is worth and then want you to give them that same gift for free. Like, please play with somebody else. If you can go give them people tens of thousands of dollars for one handbag, you can pay that child for his skill, his time, and his talent. Well, we move on to Dr. Jackie's house where she is having a post-Med Gala meeting with Dr. Heavenly, Quad, and Dr. Simone. Well, they are going over the dollars raised versus the dollars collected. And they say, yeah, we see some people pledged to purchase some things, but we ain't got all our monies. And one man had paid us our monies, but he asked for his monies back. They said, well, who asked for some money back that they donated at a charity? Dr. Jackie said, I believe it was the man who paid for a date. Quad in the confessional laughing about, ooh, Phaedra ain't hitting like it used to, girl. Like, y'all got to stop. Heavenly said, we can worry about the money later. I want to know first, Dr. Jackie, why would you pick Phaedra over me? Dr. Jackie said, well, Phaedra has a tendency to present herself as being well-connected throughout the universe. Dr. Heavenly said, yeah, but you know me. Yeah, that's the problem. One thing you gonna do is talk some shit and start some shit. You are not as reliable and predictable as you think. Dr. Heavenly said in the confessional that Phaedra has delusions of grandeur and that she thinks she's bigger than all of them. Well, Dr. Jackie kind of goes on to confirm that that's low-key what she thinks. She said part of the reason that she picked Phaedra is because Phaedra is on every TV show. She's on every blog. She's all over the place. So Dr. Heavenly says in the confessional, I do respect the fact that Phaedra has a lot going on and that she's on everything. But when you doing everything, sometimes something is going to get left behind. And in this case, it happens to be the Met Gala. Well, Phaedra told y'all she got jobs. And I guess all she could do here is be the face of the thing. If that's what you want, if you want to use my name, my network, my reach to try to market your event, event. All right, I'll say I'm the co-chairperson. I ain't doing no bunch of work, but yeah, go ahead and put my name on it. So they finally tally up what the totals are, and they say Phaedra, now with that refund request, owes $51,000, and they decide to role play what it's going to be like to call Phaedra. They said Phaedra is going to be on the phone acting like she is the most booked and busy individual you have ever met. She got all the money. She is too busy to deal with you. She'll cut you a check when she's ready. So we move on, and we see several of the couples getting together for dinner. We have Dr. Gregory and Sweet Tea. We have Dr. Simone and Cecil, Doctors Contessa and Scott, and then we have Dr. Mimi and her husband, Steve. And this is our opportunity to get to know them. Sweet Tea introduced them as a couple that she met through Dr. G because, of course, he's a psychiatrist and so is Dr. Mimi. She said, but more than anything, they are also millennials. And that's what she thinks this group needs, not a breath of fresh air. So as soon as they sit down for dinner, Dr. Contessa starts asking the stuff that I want to know about. She good and nosy like me. She said, hey, yeah, so you know y'all the MVPs of that Mad Gala, right? Dr. Simone caught the alley-oop. She said, yeah, he over there paying $5,000 for a bowl. He said, wait a minute now, because he already smelled y'all stirring up. He said, I did not pay $5,000 for a bowl. I donated $5,000 to a cause. Yeah, we gonna play semantics. Yeah, he done got cursed out about that shit a few times. He done got cursed out several times between that damn gala and this dinner. Oh, y'all ain't stirring up that shit tonight. So they're catching up about what everybody has going on. And Sweet Tea is saying, yeah, you know, I've been busy. I've been working. She said she's working on an age gap related event where she's trying to promote age gap relationships. She just recently taught a class to several ladies who are interested in age gap relationships. And she's saying in the confessional how she just wants to normalize age gap relationships. This, Sweet Tea, you ain't doing nothing groundbreaking. You ain't doing nothing that nobody needs to be taught how to do. What it is Sweet Tea is insecure about being with an older man, or about how the public perceives why she's with an older man. So now you got to make it out to be this, oh, I'm teaching classes and I want to normalize it. Girl, go teach class in hell and leave us alone. She said she's going to do a speed dating event because she has so many ladies sliding into her DMs asking if Gregory has any friends. Girl, you just, Lord, this girl here. Those women are not worried about whether Dr. G has extra friends that you can hook them up with. Them damn girls is trying to befriend your simple ass so they can get up under your man. Like, girl, just, I'm sorry, Sweet Tea is the last person I would be taking a class from about how to date older men. It literally takes a certain kind of woman or person to be in an unconventional relationship. Like, you have to come into that situation with a certain level of don't give a damn. Like, you got to have already been equipped to not give a fuck when nobody thinks about you before you enter into that type of a relationship. And we are watching Sweet Tea try to adjust to all the opinions that people have, which is why I don't feel like Sweet Tea is the person to teach it. The kind of person that would be teaching anything like that is the person who you watch everybody else adjust to they don't give a fuck. Like, why this lady don't give a damn that we is side-eyeing and judging the shit out of her marriage because I don't lay down with y'all. I don't give a fuck what you think. Personally, I feel like, especially in regard to her relationship with Dr. Gregory, Sweet Tea overestimates the power of her feminine wiles. Not to say that she's not a beautiful, powerfully feminine woman, but you also have to take into consideration the type of older man that you're with and why this older man wants a younger woman. And it has less to do with, ooh, I'm a young, hot tenderoni and he can't resist me, and more to do with he got some issues within himself that he really needs to address that he probably is not going to address. And the easier way for him to deal with them is go find him a young woman to play with. Because see, a big grown woman, a big rusty somebody that's his age, ain't playing that bullshit with him. So then we get to find out some of the background on Dr. Mimi and Steve. We find out that they met after she had just graduated medical school and he had retired from the NFL. They've been married for 10 years. I think they got 2 or 3 kids, something like that. Then here come Dr. Simone with that same damn speech she gives every year about Cecil and I have been married for 28 years and we would not have made it if it weren't for this specific friend group. She always trying to sell somebody on why you want to be down with us. So she's going into how marriage is tough and we all go through some of the same problems. And so if y'all are willing, we're hosting a couples trip and we would love for y'all to come. And you know, this is just a sidebar. This ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in the show. But PSA to married people, y'all are the worst PR for marriage ever, ever, ever. Married people make marriage look like absolute torture. If I ever come across the desire to get married, the last person I would talk to about it is a married person. Because all you ever hear them say is marriage is tough, marriage is sacrifice, marriage is constant forgiveness, marriage is just dealing with somebody bullshit on a regular basis. Don't nobody have nothing good to say about marriage other than we struggling to survive this shit. You want to go on vacation and fight about it? Please. Go find the purpose and mission for your marriage, because an idle mind is the devil's workshop, and y'all sitting there idle just being married, not knowing why y'all married, and then going out and telling the world how tough it is. Y'all are the worst PR for marriage. I'm sorry, I had to get that off my chest. But anyway, Simone is talking about planning this couples trip, and everybody is looking like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. That's exciting. And the next thing she says is that she's enlisted Heavenly to help her with planning the trips, and a lot of them smiles turned upside down. So they're looking at her trying to figure out why the hell, if Heavenly just blew up the last trip, would she be co-chairman on the next trip? Simone is saying that the reason she picked Heavenly to co-chair her trip is because she figured that if Heavenly had to be involved in the planning, it would cause Heavenly to soften her approach with everyone. And I just find it interesting that when Quad don't get along with nobody, y'all tell Quad she need to get the hell on. Y'all put her on the first thing smoking and send her on about her business. But when Heavenly can't get along with nobody, y'all gonna force her on everybody. We gonna force you to deal with Heavenly until you figure out how to deal with Heavenly. It proves my point that they just out to get Quad, that y'all have a problem with Quad and you want to excommunicate her from your group. Because to say Heavenly can curse people out from here to Timbuktu, Heavenly can talk about people's mamas living and dead, Heavenly don't have to take no accountability for the shit that she says or does, Heavenly can go beyond the show to the internet and tell every bit of your business that she knows. But you are the problem if you don't learn how to navigate that abuse. So in response to Dr. Simone sharing that Dr. Heavenly is going to be the co-chair of this trip, Sweet Tea says to Dr. Mimi, we have some perpetuators in this group. And she looks at Simone and says, I'm not saying it's y'all. Simone said, well, you know, maybe when we get to Florida, we can reignite this conversation. But right now, your energy has shifted. See, and that's that manipulative bullshit that she does. You are going to know that Heavenly is disrespectful and problematic. You're going to force Heavenly on people by making her a part of the planning committee for this trip that everybody has to participate in. And then when the people who have been offended by her operate in their offense, you make them the problem. About see how your energy is shifted? Like, how dare I be upset that you invited a that disrespects everybody and their mama to co-chair a trip for the group. T said, well, yeah, my energy has shifted because she doesn't support my relationship. And Simone is in the confessional saying she has to get over it. And that she does have to get over. It don't matter whether she supports your relationship or not. She barely support her own. You don't know what's going on in her house. That might be why she's making your relationship the focus. I wouldn't pay Heavenly no damn mind. I would have told Simone, yes, my energy did shift because you just said some bullshit. Why would you think that it's okay to put a person who has openly disrespected more than half the friend group in a position to force everybody to have to deal with her? Why? And I just find it interesting that Simone goes on in the confessional to say that this whole beef is impacting the group and Sweet Tea just has to move on. Heavenly don't have to do better. Sweet Tea has to move on. Anytime it's somebody in their mean girl clique, Simone, Jackie, or Heavenly, other people just have to figure it out and move on. But when it's somebody that mean girl clique has decided they don't like, they have the power to vote them out. Sweet Tea said, well, the reason that it's relevant that Heavenly doesn't respect her relationship is because this is supposed to be a couples trip. Heavenly is supposed to be the co-chairperson of this trip. She said, I just want to know how much she's going to be involved in, because what I'm not going to do is tolerate her disrespecting my marriage. Well, Cecil stepped in and said, no, Heavenly is not going to be doing none of that typical shit that she does. No, she won't be picking apart and destroying people's relationships. And Simone speaks up to say to Dr. Mimi, contrary to anything you might have heard, we are an amazing group of ladies. Girl, just child, Dr. Mimi earned her degree. She said, hey, look, I'm not judging nobody. I'm going to let everybody tell me whatever they want to tell me. I'm going to let y'all show me whatever y'all want to show me. And I'm going to get to know everybody for myself. Contessa said, I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance because we're going to break Dr. Mimi. She looked around and looked at her husband like these just don't have a single clue. That woman is a whole psychiatrist. A lot of the times, people in mental health fields needed some mental health help. That lady might tear y'all ass out the frame. Y'all don't know what y'all dealing with. Please tread lightly. So we move on and we get to Sweet Tea's speed dating event. This girl said if she were single, she would love to go to an event like this because when she was single, she was always looking for the savory daddies. She said she likes the ones who are providers and protectors. You know, the older men, they need them a little young something. She said you have to be strategic. You have to do more than sliding in the DMs. She said she is a walking billboard. This is proven success. Go sit your ass down. You know, I be wondering if some people don't have no shame or if they don't have that secondhand embarrassment bone. Cause I got it real bad. I be embarrassed for other people. I be like, do you hear yourself? Now, what I will give Sweet Tea is she's smarter than Toya. She said, I'm not gonna sit up here 8, 9, 10 seasons and don't get nothing out of this for myself. At least she is smart enough to brand herself and say, you know what? This what I got and this what I'ma sell. So Sweet Tea invited the ladies out to help her. The married ladies are gonna just help with the event, keeping the time, making sure that everything is flowing like it's supposed to flow. And then the single ladies, like Miss Phaedra, is gonna come and participate in the dates. Now, Phaedra came through looking like Wet Seal in 2006. I said, just what in the bodycon do you have on? Now, don't get me wrong. Phaedra looks amazing, but it was something about, I don't know if it was the combination of blonde hair, the lipstick, and the leopard print bodycon dress. It just gave every bit of going to the club in 2006. Well, we see them setting up for the event and Dr. G comes rolling through. I guess he gonna make sure his wife ain't looking for no damn replacements out there. And to say she wants to be the person who's teaching the women how to date older men and she wants to host the speed dating events, her and Gregory are still awkward to me. It's like they don't know really how to touch each other. Maybe it's when they're in front of people. I don't know. But something about them gives awkward and we gotta look like we're in love to everybody else. So they finally bring in all of the participants for the speed dating. They brought the ladies in first, followed by the men. And Lord, when I tell you this entire selection of men look like they messed up with Auntie Darlene 25 years ago, they ain't never been able to find them a wife and they out here still dating, thinking they fly and fun and young. So Sweet Tea starts the event off by introducing herself and her husband and that they are 23 years apart, but this is not a sugar baby, sugar daddy situation. We are actually in love. Everybody looking at them like, girl, if you don't shut the fuck up and tell us how to get the check. Toya said in the confessional, ain't nobody looking to be with no old man unless you trying to be financially saved. Toya said, hell, financial security is the only thing you got to look forward to with an older man. She said, because everything gets older with his ass. She said, stuff starts shrinking and wrinkling up, stuff stops working, just Lord. Child, the first couple we see is some young girl and an older man. Look like that girl could be, less than his daughter. And he's asking, are you a religious girl? And she, yeah, I'm a Christian. He says, so you say your prayers? And she, yes, sir. Girl, just, if you got to answer the man, yes, sir, just go ahead and end the date, please. Phaedra over there on her date with a man who got on a t-shirt with every rhinestone he could find. This motherfucker got a gift bag full of dollar bills or some shit, but he's shaking it on the table while we going out tonight. If you don't get your ass from this table, then the same man who was just asking the other girl about do she say her prayers, he down the Phaedra table giving her a full-on David Ruffin-esque show about let's get it on tonight. Get the going out of here. So the next date that we see Phaedra on is with a 30-year-old French African man. He said he is born in Africa, raised in Paris. He played pro basketball in China. He asked Phaedra, what's your name? She said, Phaedra, but you can call me mama. Phaedra asked the man how old he is. He said, don't worry about it. Age is just a number. I just tear people place up there. So as the event is going on, we see Dr. Simone show up and she shows up with Dr. Heavenly. And naturally, Sweet Tea is pissed off. So Simone starts explaining why she brought Dr. Heavenly about, well, I know that you were having a relationship event. Sweet Tea looked at her like, exactly, bitch, so why would you bring her? Simone said, so I decided to bring along a relationship expert. Sweet Tea said, bullshit. First of all, bullshit. Secondly, did you ask? No. because they feel absolutely entitled to do anything they want to do when it comes to them three musketeers. They can run over anybody. They can treat anybody any kind of way. They don't have to talk to people with any level of respect, but everybody got to regard them like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Sweet Tea said, you know she ain't no damn relationship expert. Furthermore, even if she were one, she doesn't support my relationship. So if she don't support my relationship, why would she be here to support an event that basically emulates my relationship? Simone is in the confessional saying that I know that Sweet Tea had some concerns or fears about Heavenly helping me to host the couples trip. And I was thinking that by her coming with me tonight, we could squash those fears. Well, why? Why would you think her crashing this woman's event while they actively have contention between why would you ever think that that was a reasonable response? Sweet Tea decides she's going to take the opportunity to try to be the bigger person. She said she realizes that when it comes to Heavenly, she's going to always have to be the more mature party. So she pulls Heavenly aside for a conversation and she starts to explain to Heavenly that, you know, I really didn't like certain things that you did on social media. Heavenly said, I didn't like things that you did. So now we both did things that we didn't like. I can own my stuff. Sweet Tea said, well, damn, can I finish? Simone goes to interject and try to play mediator because you know this can go left real quick. Well, as soon as Simone sits down, Heavenly says, yeah, I don't like the energy. I don't like your energy, talking to Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea said, there's nothing wrong with my energy. And even if there were, you would be justified in your energy shifting, because why would you think you can come crash somebody's event after you've disrespected them on every level and they should be welcoming and happy to see you? Heavenly is asking Simone, how can we move forward if T's tone is the way it is? This is full on manipulation. This is full on, we gonna play her down like she's not as smart as us, like she's this little girl and she's the problem. We don't have to take any accountability. Well, in comes Dr. Mimi. She knows it's some shit about to go left. Maybe Dr. Gregory went and said something to her, I don't know. But she comes and interjects herself, and as soon as she sits down, Heavenly, hi, doctor. Hello, Dr. Mimi. Her entire tone changes. And it's because she's a doctor and you respect her as your peer, and you feel like because Sweet Tea is not your educational or professional peer, you don't have to respect her. You can treat her the way that y'all are treating her, and you're going to be backed up in doing so. Before anybody can even brief Dr. Mimi on what's going on, Heavenly says, yes, she's upset with me. I apologize. Simone says to Sweet Tea, what can we do to move forward from this? Like she's the fucking crazy one. Sweet Tea said, well, first of all, you should have asked me before you brought her, but they don't have no damn respect. Well, Dr. Mimi steps in to try to advocate for Sweet Tea, and she's saying, well, this is her event and she's trying her best to tell you Heavenly does Heavenly. She jumps in to shut the doctor down because the doctor is not on her side. So she said, I don't care. I don't like her tone. I don't mean to cut you up, but I don't like her tone. You don't have to like her tone. If you never brought your ass to her event, you wouldn't have to experience her tone. Heavenly said her tone is inappropriate. Sweet Tea said your tone is always inappropriate. Heavenly said, you don't know me, darling, and I don't know you. Sweet Tea said, well, if I don't know you and you don't know me, then get the fuck out. Now Simone is sitting there looking all shocked and like she can't believe Sweet Tea is behaving this way. You are one of the most manipulative people, like the way that she sits up and stirs up and then looks at other people like, oh my God, I can't believe you're reacting this way. It is straight manipulation. Well, Toya could smell the bullshit coming up out that conversation from a mile away. So she went over there and said, I sent the psychiatrist over here to help y'all. Dr. Heavenly said, well, I don't need it. Toya said, yeah, crazy people always say they don't need no damn help. Dr. Mimi said, nobody in this group is crazy. And I've learned that crazy is quite the trigger word in the mental health world. You can't just go around calling people crazy. You got to know the brand name for the crazy. You can call them what they got, but you can't just call them crazy. Dr. Mimi said, I don't think y'all would have an actual crazy person in this group. Heavenly said, well, but you the crazy one if you think that. Just see. Heavenly starts explaining to the ladies that she came in peace to smooth things over before the couples trip. Well, my thing is, why would you crash somebody's event to do that? Well, Sweet Tea said she don't accept Heavenly's apology, and she went on about her event. And Dr. Mimi, Heavenly, and Simone are sitting off in the corner, and Heavenly is saying, well, I just don't think it's that deep. Dr. Mimi, thank God for somebody with some sense. Dr. Mimi said, yeah, it's not that deep to you. It may be that deep to her. Heavenly, you're not on the receiving end of the disrespect. And even if you are, when you do receive it, it is literally the reaction that you were fishing for. So you're getting what you want out of this exchange. Meanwhile, somebody else is having to endure you in this exchange. No, it's not that deep to you because this is what you wanted. Don't nobody else want to roll around in the mud with you? Dr. Mimi recommended to Heavenly that you won't have to work on your patients. And Simone is saying in the confessional, well, I'm not a psychiatrist, but telling Heavenly to work on her patients is like telling a dog to never bark again. See how y'all got all the excuses for how an old dog can't learn new tricks when it comes to Heavenly, but then when it comes to anybody else, y'all ready to put them out the group, they need to be fired. Y'all will tell all their personal business. Let me tell you what happened at her house so I can tell you how good a person I am. So they wrap up the speed dating event. They pair off all the couples, and then we move on to Toya's house where she is having this baby shower for this damn bag. We see all the ladies arriving at Toya's house. Dr. Contessa and Simone rode together, so they get there first. And Toya brings up to Contessa that I noticed at the last event that you and Heavenly still aren't talking. Contessa said, I mean, what we gonna do, just pretend like she didn't say anything about my mama? She said, at this point, I feel like Heavenly and I need to have a one-on-one. My thing is, y'all see Heavenly has an undefeated track record of not resolving issues. The only person she gonna resolve something with is Dr. Jackie if Dr. Jackie gets upset enough with her. So why would you burden anybody else with the expectation of getting along with Heavenly? So then we see Heavenly herself and Quad get there. And she comes in and, hey, Contessa, hey, Heavenly. Now that the whole gang is there and Quad is drinking a glass of wine, Contessa said, all right, now I'm trying to figure out why we here. She said, now I'm going through a process of elimination because they had unspeculated that Quad was the pregnant one and Toya was throwing this for Quad. She said, but Quad is over here drinking wine, so we know that this is not for Quad. Now, you ain't drinking wine, so this could still be your baby shower. And they doubted that shit because they said, Toya is too old to be pulling any I'm pregnant pranks. They said, now maybe she got a surrogate, but you won't have to play with somebody else. Toya just standing there skinning and grinning, and they trying to figure out what is you smiling at, like, tell us what's going on. And she said, well, I've been glowing for about 3 months now. They said, you've been glowing for 3 months. Like, what kind of code is you talking? Contessa said, all I know is I took off work for this shit. This better be some real shit when I tell you that it's some black shit. So then we see Dr. Mimi and Sweet Tea arrive. And of course, there's an awkward greeting between Tea and Heavenly. But Toya brought up that after the speed dating event, Sweet Tea and Heavenly were hanging out. She said, so how did that happen? And they played footage of them jumping up and down in the club. They in the phones, three together, just partying and having a good time. And I'm trying to figure out, well, why the fuck is y'all beefing in our face of y'all going out partying together when they put the cameras down? She said, well, the way that happened is that they decided to go out and do some after partying after the speed dating event, and Simone brought her again. Her said, my name is Heavenly. Heavenly said, but she has no hard feelings. She said, as a matter of fact, she took the opportunity that night to have a long talk with Dr. Gregory. She said that she owned her part in things, that Gregory was receiving and forgiving, that they are moving forward. Okay, girl. Well, as they're having this discussion, Dr. Jackie FaceTime calls to say, hey, listen, I know I'm supposed to be there finding out whatever the hell y'all supposed to be finding out, but yeah, I'm getting to the bag. She said, I have to go back into surgery, so y'all let me know once y'all got some interesting shit going on. And the rest of them say, yeah, Toya, we got real jobs too. We got things to do with our time, and you ain't gonna be wasting our time off. So could we get around to why we is here? So Toya finally goes and gets this bag. She brings it down wrapped up in an Hermes baby blanket, has Contessa play Vanna White to lift up this case for her to put it in the display case. Everybody looks so damn underwhelmed. And I know Toya felt stupid. I know the second she sat that down, she started that damn giggling. You felt dumb as hell, didn't you? Everybody is looking like, I know you ain't brought us here for no damn purse. Her son in the kitchen, and it's ugly. Toya is in the confessional giving every bit of I ain't never had about Stormy, which is the name of this purse, represents a different level. Why wouldn't I have a baby shower for her? Contessa asked Toya, is this your first Birkin bag? She said, yes, this is my first. Contessa said, yeah, I guess I was excited about my first too. Quad said, yeah, but we didn't put them up in a glass case. Basically, everybody got one, bitch. You ain't did nothing special. You ain't did nothing, ain't nobody did nothing. I'm not saying not to celebrate your own accomplishments. I'm not saying to downplay your own moments and milestones. You should absolutely celebrate yourself, but this is some country tacky bullshit. So Toya calls herself playing baby shower games about her bag, about, can anybody tell me the hardware colors. Contessa said, well, on mine, the hardware color is like brass. Simone said, well, I have 2 Birkins and I don't know the hardware color on either. Quad said, oh, I only have 1. Basically, bitch, all us got 1. You are the last in line celebrating like you done broke records. It just gives I never had shit. And I understand. I never had a Birkin either. It's a lot of shit I never had, but I'll be damned if I'm throwing a party to celebrate. I gave people $30,000 for a piece of purse. Heavenly says, shit, I don't have an answer. I don't know. I don't know this kind of stuff. I can't even play these kind of games. She said, why would I know that kind of shit? Because why would I ever spend that kind of money on a bag? She said, maybe I'm dumb. I don't know. No, this is the one time you got more sense than anybody. Dr. Simone went on to say to Toya that I have a collection of bags from different designers. She said, I'm not the person who's so caught up on Hermes. They had to tell her, baby, it's Hermes. She said, I don't give a damn. I can afford it, even if I can't pronounce it. I'm gonna call the bitch Hermes in a minute. So Toya wraps up her baby Birkin shower by handing out gifts to the ladies, and she's telling Dr. Mimi that this is probably going to be the only time that you get to see us all together in one space, actually smiling and getting along. And Quad said, no, I think we can do it again. They believe that since this party and this episode is ending on such a high note, that they can carry over these high vibrations to their vacation in Florida. Good luck. But child, that's the end of the episode. And it looks like next week they're going to be heading off on their vacation. And old Sweet Tea is going to have a hard time getting Dr. G to pack his bag and go. He said, do you really need me to go? Do I really need to be there? She said, sir, it's a couple's trip. Yeah. And his ex-wife is part of a new couple. Yeah. Child, it's going to be a time. But that's it. That's all. And I ain't got no more. Thank you so much for coming down here, listening to me, and letting me get this off my chest. Y'all, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you've not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, y'all know I love you and I mean it. Bye.